Welcome to Lola's Frugal Life Podcast. If you're on a mission to be more frugal with both your time and money, you're in the right place. In this podcast, we talk about topics that help enhance living a frugal lifestyle. The goal is to save time and money where we can so that we can use the rest on what matters most to us. We talk a lot about both time and money management so that we can waste as little as possible on both. We do this while also embracing a progress over perfection mindset. If that sounds good to you, then please stick around for the latest episode right after a few quick words from our sponsor. Hi everyone, welcome back to another one of my mini summer episodes. There's only going to be 2 more of these left, and then we're going to be into September and back into the normal length episodes. So I just wanted to do another quick one today. And what I was thinking about is prioritizing our tasks on a really busy day or a really busy week or whatever is going on, whatever period of time we have where we have so many things that we need to do that we can kind of get overwhelmed and sometimes not wind up getting as many things done as we could have because we sometimes can get so overwhelmed that we don't even begin because we're not sure where to start. So one tip that I have on dealing with a time period where you're really busy is just first, most importantly, reminding yourself that there's literally only so much time in a day. It's not even possible to do a certain number of things that you might have on your list, and you have to look at that up front and figure out what you can even realistically do, because there's no reason to stress yourself out trying to figure out how to get more things done than are literally even possible. So sometimes, even though everything might seem important, knowing that only so many of these things can possibly get done is really important to looking at your list and being really realistic about what is going to need to go. Sometimes some things, no matter how important they seem, need to get put aside because there's only so much we can do in a day. And that's really the most important thing before even starting to prioritize your list, is looking what you have to do and being realistic about what is going to need to get put aside. And really, even if you're not in a really busy time, you usually always have things you want to do. So it's still always important to just look at your list of what tasks you have and where you need to be and what you need to do, and be realistic about what you can even possibly get done without burning yourself out and working every single second from morning till night. Because then you just kind of run yourself down so ragged that you're not going to be able to continue at that pace, and then you're probably going to get less done in the upcoming days. So be realistic about what you can actually accomplish. Then when you're going to determine how much you can actually get done in a day, make sure to consider all of the things that you have to do in a day that are not on your to-do list. These are things like loading the dishes, cooking dinner, maybe doing some basic laundry, showering and brushing your teeth, feeding your pets, maybe cleaning cages, whatever basic things that you have to do in a day that are not on your list, but they're just things that you do just because they're part of your day. Make sure to account for them, because sometimes you can think that you have more time in a day to get things done than you really do. So you don't want to overload yourself with a schedule of things to do that you can't possibly get done because you really don't even have as much time as you're thinking you do. Then you can try to pick out just the very, very most important. Usually you try and shoot for 3 things that are your biggest priorities. You want to pick the things that you will think, if I can even at least get these 2 or 3 things done, I'll feel good at the end of the day that I made an accomplishment. Even if it doesn't mean you got everything done and you feel like, oh, I can just not have to worry about anything tomorrow, because that never happens. It's really just making sure that at the end of the day, you're like, yes, I moved forward, I made some progress, and then tomorrow I can do some more. So just trying to think about what you can realistically do today, have it written down. To me, it's helpful to kind of write that plan down in the morning, or you might want to do it at night. I like to do it when I first get up, and then I just kind of get started right away and figuring out kind of like a time frame. Like I really love to use time blocking. So I will do like just like a quick little schedule, and I'll say like, okay, from 10 to 11:30, I'm going to work on this task. I'm going to work on this task after lunch, maybe from like 1 to 3, and then from 3 to 5, I'm going to do this other thing, and then I'm going to cook dinner. So the example that I just gave would be more like on a weekend, because during the work week, I'm usually working during the day, but like on a weekend, that would be an example of how I might plot things out. So by kind of blocking out time and devoting it to certain tasks, it can really kind of help you keep on track and know when you're going to work on things, so that you don't have in the back of your mind thinking while you're doing one task about how and when you're going to get something else done. Once it's kind of down on paper and you know when you're going to work on something, you can kind of put it out of your mind and not let it distract you from what else it is that you're currently trying to work on. So that is my quick 5-minute episode on how I like to try and prioritize tasks on a really busy day, and really be mindful and considerate to myself in knowing that there's literally only so much I can do, and I just have to really pick what's most important and focus on getting that done. So thank you so much for checking in, and I will see you here next week. So thank you for checking in for this podcast episode. And don't forget, you can always email me with any questions or suggestions at lolasfrugallife@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at lolasfrugallife. And you can find a blog post for most of my episodes, and definitely all of my meal plan episodes, at lolasfrugallife.com. You can also join our private listeners group at facebook.com/groups/lolasfrugallife. And if you enjoy the show, please make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen from. And I would love it if you would screenshot the show and tag me on Instagram so I could see you're listening. Also, if you can please take a couple of seconds to rate and review the podcast. Those ratings and reviews are what help the show come up better in search results so that other people can find this podcast. So that will really help me in growing my audience. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have an awesome day.